Now, let's move on to other stories. Rights activists have urged Thailand to allow a young Saudi woman fleeing her home country to continue her journey to Australia. Rahaf Mohammed Al Quanan has become trapped in Bangkok. She says she's renounced Islam, fears being killed by her family if she's forced to return. Kim Gittleson has more details.
18-year-old Rahaf Al Quanan thought she saw her opening 2 days ago during a family vacation to Kuwait. That's when she fled to Australia in search of asylum. But that plan went awry during what was supposed to be a short stop in Bangkok.
When I come, someone said to me that we will have the visa. Then he took my passport, and then he came to me with 5 or 6 people. I think they are police, and they told me my father wants me to go back to Saudi Arabia, and he is so angry.
Now she says she's trapped in an airport hotel with Thai officials guarding her room, waiting to put her on a return flight to Kuwait. So she's taken to social media to beg for help, asking for asylum and begging for intervention. Saudi Arabia's government said that she was held because she didn't have a return ticket, and said that she's due to be deported today to Kuwait, where most of her family lives. However, Human Rights Watch has said she should be allowed to continue on to Australia.
This is Saudi Arabia and Thailand playing games to send an 18-year-old back into harm's way. It's outrageous. She deserves to be allowed to see the UN Refugee Agency and ask for asylum.
Now the clock is ticking down, and having renounced Islam, Rahaf says that she fears for her life.
I don't have rights in Saudi Arabia, and my family treat me so bad. They will kill me.
Kim Gittleson, BBC News.
Well, let's get more now from our correspondent Jonathan Head, who is at the airport, able to join us on the line. Jonathan, what more can you tell us?
Well, Rahaf was supposed to be put on a Kuwait Airlines flight about half an hour ago. We've been waiting to see how they would do that. She's still in her room in the transit hotel where I am now. We're having to keep a pretty low profile because they're not allowing journalists to operate here. That flight left without her. We're pretty certain she's still in the room. So there are a lot of Thai immigration officials around here. They are surrounding her room. She can't come out. And we're just waiting to see what their next move is. But the official Thai position is still that she must go back to her family, despite all of the things she said about what she thinks will happen to her if she does.
So it is pretty unclear then what is going to happen next, I guess, in terms of where she's headed.
I think human rights groups are right to be extremely concerned because Thailand unfortunately has a track record of sending back people to places where they do have a well-founded fear of persecution. This has happened on many occasions, and there's no doubt that Thailand is considering, I'm sure, considering its relations with Saudi Arabia here. But inevitably, the enormous amount of international attention this case has got, I think, probably will have some sway. And I think Thai officials are in some ways caught in a bit of a quandary. She hasn't actually, contrary to what the police say here, and they're not right about this, she's not tried to enter Thailand. She arrived on a flight from Kuwait saying that she had an Australian visa and was only in transit, and that she had her passport taken from her by, she believes, a Saudi diplomatic official. And so she's still in a kind of limbo in the international area at the airport. And I think a lot of Thai officials are trying to figure out what they can do. You've got to imagine that, such a determined young woman dragging her, potentially protesting and shouting through the middle of one of the area's busiest airports to a flight is clearly not going to look good. And I think they are thinking again about how they deal with this.
OK, for now, Jonathan, thank you. We'll talk to you again very soon, I'm sure, as we get more news about where she is headed. Stay with us here on The Briefing.